Hey, everybody, welcome. Today, I'm going to be telling you a little bit about how I got rid of some very debilitating back pain. I'm using the X39 patch from LifeWave. I'm going to share my experience with you, just a little bit of my story, and then also give you some information at the end for how you can figure out more about these. I have a little patch guide that I've created to help you to just kind of learn more about the X39 and how it might be able to help you in your health journey as well, and see some of the other patches that LifeWave has to offer. I'm Catherine. If you're new here, I am passionate about wellness, and wellness being from the inside out. I am a transformational life coach, and I love to help women to push past their limiting beliefs, step into their calling, and truly do what it is that God has for them to do in their life. And whatever limits us has got to go. And for me, for a while, beyond the internal limiting beliefs and the lies that I was believing about who I was created to be and what I was capable of in Christ, the physical limitations that I was dealing with were tremendous. And that one of them was that I had suffered, like I said, from debilitating back pain for the majority of my adult life, to be honest. It started when I was about 17, when I was 36 and I had my last child. They did some testing to figure out what's going on with my back. Why does it keep going out? And what can I do about this? And the doctors discovered through an MRI that I had a herniated disc and it was protruding and touching a nerve that would cause my back to go out. And when I say my back went out, you might understand what that means, because maybe your back has gone out before as well. But what it meant for me was I could not even put on my own clothing or go to the bathroom by myself. It was very awful. And I was dealing with this for a long time. It started in my late 20s where, I was on the floor and I couldn't get up, and I had two little babies at home, and I was carrying a laundry basket, and that laundry basket weight, I guess, which I didn't know I had an injury at the time, but the weight of that laundry basket was just enough to cause that disc to protrude out enough to touch that nerve in my lower spine. And it just was like electricity shot through my back, and I'm down. I can't move. The inflammation immediately, like a brick coming out of my back, and I couldn't move. So it was very scary, and I didn't understand why, but that began my journey to chiropractors constantly, because that's what I didn't know any different. I never talked to my doctor about it. I just went to chiropractors on and off to keep myself in alignment. And I never worked on my core. I had a couple of C-sections, so of course that didn't help. The muscle being cut and then having the imbalance and the weakness in my back. I just didn't know. You don't know what you don't know. And that's where I was, not knowing. And, I battled with my back going out periodically often, and just, kind of thought it was just what I was going to have to deal with. And so when I had my youngest, my last child, he was home for maybe like 2 months, and he was itty bitty preemie. So he didn't even weigh 10 pounds yet. And I couldn't hold him because I had bent over to pick up I think it was like, I don't know, like some kind of syrup bottle or something very small. And I had bent over to pick up this oil out of a box. And when I did, I bent and twisted just the right way that my back went out, and I was down for the count again, like couldn't even put any weight on my body. I got so bad at one point that I had to have my brother-in-law and my sister come over and actually pick me up off the ground, which was horrendously painful, just because I bent over to pick up a hairbrush one time. So obviously I was in a bad way with my physical body, was not doing well. And I just kind of dealt with it. I just lived with it. I didn't understand anything about inflammation. I didn't know what I could do about it. And other than chiropractors, and chiropractors really didn't help me very well for very long. I remember going to a chiropractor one time and him telling me, your alignment is so out, your hips are so rotated that this adjustment is just going to get pulled out the minute you get in your car. And I thought, why did I just pay you $90 this, for you to tell me that this was going to be the end result? It was very annoying. So after that MRI, and I found out, here's the reason why my back keeps going out, because when I twist and move a certain way, I have this imbalance in my structure that it hits the nerve and then I'm out, right? I can't even go to the bathroom. I can't pick up my son. I can't do anything on my own. I literally need help doing everything, putting on my own clothing, rolling over in bed. It's just awful. And if you've ever been in a position where you're like, I know how it feels to be immobilized, it's a horrible feeling because you are fully reliant on somebody else to take care of your every need. And I am the one who takes care of everyone's needs. So that's very difficult for me. So a couple of years ago, so some of that back pain was also due to a lot of inner healing that I needed. Yes, there's actual physical reasons for that happening, but I knew that there was a lot of emotional weight from trauma that I was carrying around as well. So I did do a lot of inner healing work. And I share about that in my biblical body plan course, where God really walked me through dealing with the emotions that were weighing me down and being heavy, heavy on my body, heavy on my frame, because even carrying around extra weight physically will cause back problems for us if we're not conscious of it, if we don't know that, for every 5 pounds you lose, in the front of your body, for every 5 pounds of belly that goes away, that's 25 pounds of pressure off your back. I was shocked when I found that out. I've always been overweight and carrying around a lot of excess physical weight, but I was also carrying around a lot of excess emotional baggage and pain and uncomfortable feelings and anger and unforgiveness and lots of different things like that. So walking through a lot of that did help, but there was still those times when it would just be a problem for me and I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. I changed a lot of my food because, I then learned that food, affects us with inflammation in our body, and inflammation leads to pain. And I knew that inflammation in that area was not good. So I tried fixing my diet route to stay out of pain. And that did help a little bit as well, but I still did have those flare-ups and it was really annoying. And, even going and living at the chiropractor's office, I felt like I was at the chiropractor 3 times a week. And I just still, I would be doing good and then suddenly I wouldn't be doing good. And it was very frustrating. I didn't want to have surgery. So in a year and a half ago, I was doing really well for about a year. And then a year and a half ago, I had another episode where my back went out. And it was not good timing, like it's ever good timing, but it was really not good timing because this was my son's 5th birthday party coming up. And I had a bouncy house slide coming, water slide and all this stuff. And I had to get things ready. And 2 weeks was the party. And I just, I didn't have time for this. Like my back was out and I didn't have time. And I was frustrated. And I called a friend, and I believe first off that Jesus is our healer. He is ultimately our healer. And I was standing in faith that I would be healed. The physical part of my body that was messed up is going to be healed. And I did not want to have surgery. So, I just stood in that faith that I am the healed of the Lord. Jesus already paid the price for this, and I am going to experience it manifest in the physical. I'm just going to stand on this. But I called my friend and I said, hey, can you pray for me? Because again, here I am with my back and I just could use like some prayer warrior support in this, because not that my prayers aren't effectual, they are, but it's always good to reach out and have some help. So I did, and he prayed for me, of course. So thankful and encouraged and all of that. And he said, by the way, have you ever heard of these patches called X39? Of course not. I had not heard of these patches. So here, long story short, he brought me some X39 patches, told me where to put them. He said, put them right here. He actually put it on for me because I could not put it on myself. And he put it on the back of my neck. And this is what they look like. They're just these look like a sticker. And they have this white part inside. This is the magic right here, this white part that you see. And if you want to know more about how these work and the science of these and all of that, this is not the video for that, but I will attach this guide in the description below for you to be able to read more about how these work. There's a website for you to be able to go to really figure out, well, how does this actually work, Catherine? And of course, you can contact me and I'll be glad to have conversation with you about that. And I have more videos here on the channel that do also explain more about the X39, the science behind how they work. But I'm just telling you today how they helped me get rid of this debilitating back pain. So when he put them on me, I immediately felt a sense of relief in my mind, which I was not expecting. I didn't understand why that happened. I was thankful that happened. I just felt a sense of calm and well-being. I can't describe it any other way. That's just what happened. I didn't have any less pain in my back the first day. Everything was the same, but I felt better inside my mind. And 3 days later, I was up and moving and mobile and back to my regular moving self. And by the time my son's birthday had arrived, I was flying down that water slide with all the kids. Okay. Like I'm the biggest kid you'll ever meet. Yes, I'm 42 years old, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to be out there playing with my kids. And I was having fun on the water slide. I was, going down. If you ever seen those big bouncy slides, they're big. I don't know what they are, but anyways, they're big slides that they put water, air in and water at the top, and you can just fly down, smack into the back of it and just jump off and do it again. And that's what I did. And my husband even was like, he reached over the little edge at one point. He's like, be careful, because he knew I had just come out of like not being able to move. And the thing that was so important about that is that when my back would go out, I would not be able to move for at least 3 weeks. Well, I would hobble around like what I say, an old lady, not to be offensive to anybody here, but that's what I would say. Like, I'm just hobbling around like an old lady. I can't even hardly move for at least 3 weeks. So please don't hug mom fast or even barely at all. I couldn't walk fast. I couldn't stand up straight. I'd have to hold on to the wall to get anywhere, to make sure that if I hit, like my foot hit down and that nerve was snapped again, that I wouldn't fall. I was always ready to go out again. It was just not good. I was guarded all the time. So it was huge, a big miracle for me that I was out of pain so quickly, but that also I was able to jump back into life so quickly, because I am a very active person. And I do enjoy doing things like biking, jumping, playing on the trampoline, jumping, playing with my kids, going on the water slides, doing that kind of stuff. And to not be able to do that is depressing. It's sad, and it makes me sad. So I told my husband, we have got to start buying these patches. I want us to continue to use them. And so that's what we've done. And I've been using them for a year and a half because the benefits far outweighed the investment that I made. I invest in vitamins. I invest in hair care products, right? I invest in essential oils. I invest in all kinds of other things that are pricey. And I spend money to go to the chiropractor. I spend money to go to the doctor when I get sick. Why not invest in something that's going to regenerate my health and help me to get on the preventative side, to be proactive versus reactive on the backside, where, I'm going to spend a lot more money to do so. So these cost me $99 a month, and I decided they were well worth a 30-day supply, is $90 a month. And what happens when you put this patch on is it starts to elevate a peptide in your body called GHKCU. Again, we're not going to get into the science, but that peptide stimulates activation of stem cells in your body. And that is what causes your body to heal rapidly. So for me, I healed quicker because my stem cell count started increasing naturally from this peptide, that when we're young, we have plenty of elevated peptide, that peptide in our body. But as we age, it starts to decline. And so that's, part of what was happening to me, as well as having the actual physical injury, right? But the physical injury may still be there. The problem is there, maybe still there. I don't know. I haven't had another MRI, but I do not have the pain because of the inflammation is not causing the pain. The pain was caused from the inflammation in my back. And that's why in 3 days, the inflammation was gone, because one of the very first things this patch goes to work at doing is decreasing inflammation in the body. Maybe you don't know, but inflammation leads to chronic illness. We don't want chronic illnesses that start with the big letter C that everybody hates, right? We don't want all those things, but we still keep eating the diet that leads to inflammation, drinking the things that leads to inflammation, and not taking care of our bodies. This helped me drastically in a quick hurry, because it decreased inflammation in the body. So that is how I was able to get out of the debilitating back pain, so quickly, was because this patch, once I put it on, went to work at doing its job quickly and got that inflammation out of my body, and then went to work at repairing all the other things, because our stem cells are chameleon cells, is what I call them. They go to any area of the body they need to go to, and they become the cell that you need in that area. They're amazing. Okay. So I've also had testimonies of how the X39 patch has also done other things for my body. I'll share on a different video related to my heart and other things. I've had testimony after testimony of other people's amazing experiences as well. But if you are suffering from back pain that you're just like, I cannot get out of this and I don't know what else to do. If you're like me, I've went to the physical therapy and did the exercises to strengthen my core, stretching, eating well, doing everything that I can think to do, but still having the back pain issues. If you need either of those areas, like the emotional help and wellness help, I want you to go to biblicalbodyplan.com, download that course, go through the emotions part of the course, the phase that teaches about how to really feel, deal, and heal from your emotional baggage. You can go through and see if that helps. And then also try these patches, because honestly, you have nothing to lose. You can try them free for 90 days as a preferred customer through LifeWave, and you have nothing to lose. So you can just get them, try them, see how they make you feel. And the first few things that you're probably going to notice is definitely that you're going to sleep better, you're going to have an increase in energy, and you're going to feel that reduction of inflammation. So it may show up if you have arthritis, which is inflammation, you may feel better because of that, going away, or you may feel like the brain fog is left. Inflammation causes a lot of that too. So there's lots of different benefits that you'll experience immediately. But as always, I have to leave this disclaimer that LifeWave products are not intended to treat, cure, or prevent diseases. But I'm telling you, this is the best holistic way that I have found to heal my body's issues that I don't want to have to live in the hospital or the doctor's office to deal with. Just saying. So it's not a popular opinion. I get that, but I am all about holistic wellness and being healthy from the inside out. And these patches definitely help you do that. So if you want more information about the X39, if you want more information about Biblical Body Plan, I want you to just go ahead down in the description. That's going to be where everything is. And you can find out everything that you need to know there and get all the info. And then, of course, as always, reach out to me. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, hey, do that right now. Subscribe, like, and comment on this video just to help to share this with other people and really just to say hi. I really appreciate that. And we'll see you here on the next one.